Good morning. My name is Ted Oorbals. I'm the CEO of the company Biocryptology, and we have created a solution for authenticating identities. So hopefully I'm going to show you today something nice. I would like to discuss with you the problem and the solution. As we all know, identity theft and fraud is at the moment at its historical heights. We have a large scale of data breaches. The physical access control is getting everywhere stronger and stronger. We want to know who is entering. We saw it here at the conference also. And of course the high cost of solving passwords and usernames. This is a big burden for companies and even an unsafe solution. So we've tried to make a solution for all these issues above, and we created the Biocryptology platform, platform to authenticate identities. What are the end user benefits? Because at the end of the day, the end user needs to like it. It's important that he has a good customer experience. So to start with, we say goodbye to the usernames and passwords, smart cards, ID cards, any form of identification. But more importantly, consumers want to be in control of their identity also. They want to decide who has information from me. That's, we saw it now also with Facebook, that their identity has been used. Now, through our platform, we can guarantee that you are in control of your identity and who has that identity. Biocryptology is safe, it's fast, it's convenient, and as I said, it's secure and for online and offline or physical locations. What are the big differentiators from Biocryptology? We are not just a platform for online access, we're also a platform for physical access. So it makes us very scalable, we are very easy to integrate for partners. We have created at the moment, for 98% of all websites out there, we have created a plugin that our partners could adopt very easily, very simple, so that the clients at the end can use the app to enter their websites. It's highly secure. We don't store any fingerprints. We don't store any data. We support all the new legislations of the PSD2, the GDPR. So I think that we are quite ahead of our time, and that covered also by the ISOs and all the security certifications. How do we use these solutions? What do we use or as a functionality? We have an app. An app is of course very convenient. It eliminates the need of usernames and passwords, tokens, swipe cards. It's very versatile. Because we can use it for all types of online and offline. And we are the highest form of security within our app because we went for the AL1+. For the one who says, okay, I want one step higher, we have created also a hardware device. Our company is a hardware, software and a firmware company. So we have created a hardware solution to come up till the military level of security. Again, we don't store any biometrical data. And to be able to also give access to physical locations, we've created a very versatile hardware device that can be put after any physical access gate. Again, a terminal that communicates with NFC, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. What are the benefits for our partners who work with us? Again, it's a control of cost, a very good user experience, very versatile, very secure. So we try to create not only benefits for the users, but also for all the partners who connect to us. And to give you a little overview of the use cases, you see here in an overview that from corporate use to physical access, online banking, shopping, cloud access, all the places where every day, day by day, you need to get access through online or physical. I will show you a little movie.
little hotel and you were checking in at reception. The manager asked you for a copy of your passport, date of birth, full name and credit card number. You think nothing of it because it is common for third parties to ask for your personal information, right? But have you ever wondered where your information is stored and who has access to it? Well, you probably should, especially with a rising threat lurking in the shadows. We're talking about identity theft. Fraudsters and hackers who will try to get hold of your information to use for personal gain. It doesn't take much. Even seemingly harmless pieces of information can be used to commit identity fraud. That's why we at Biocryptology have developed a universal solution against ID fraud through a one-time only registration. With Biocryptology's universal identity platform, you have secure access to all online and offline purposes, including real-world places without the need to leave copies of your personal documentation. This will give you control over who you share your information with. No more copies of your passport, credit card, or other personal documentation handed in to third parties. Just use Biocryptology, get instant access, and avoid the hassle of standing at front desks. Biocryptology can even identify you for governmental purposes. Biocryptology, one universal platform with one-time enrollment for all kinds of online and offline access. Safe, personal, and easy to use.
So, I see that I still have 3 minutes left, so let me try to give you also a demonstration how it functions. Here we go. Here's an example of a website with a normal proceeding of the account where I want to log in, have access. So we don't try to change the company completely to take away their existing way of access protocol. So still, if they want to continue with the usernames and passwords, it's not a problem. It's just a little button extra at the site or any place where they want to have it. Yeah, log in with Biocryptology. I will push that. I have the app installed on my mobile phone. At this moment, it contacts right away my mobile phone. I confirm that I want to give access. It asks my biometric data. And voila, I'm inside the website without giving them any username or password. I still have 2 minutes left, so I did well. Sorry?
What are you going to buy?
What I'm going to buy? If I want to buy anything, but the most important thing is it shows here, I can do that with my payments, I can do on the same way, I can have access to my bank account, I can authorize payments, I can have access to my Dropbox, to my cloud information, any place where I want to access online, I can do it in this simple way. So my phone becomes a token device based on my biometrics. So I'm the only one who can use it. What's the benefits also for the website owner? He knows exactly who enters the website. Because if someone steals my usernames and passwords, the website owner doesn't know who actually accesses. It's only the identity behind the access codes. But with this way, I have an identified visitor.
How do I recover account? So if I lost my phone or I want to move to a different phone?
You just register again your phone. That's the beauty of it. Very simple. So again, you go online, you go to your account, and you use your biometrics.
Because I have account with you on the website somewhere.
Yes, what you do, you send an email to us with your phone number, then you get your registration code, you activate your phone, and then you're online again.
My phone is stored where?
Sorry?
And so you have my email and my phone?
Yes, the only thing that we store from you is your telephone number, your name, and your email address. That also makes our situation very safe for any hackers, because we have no information that's important.
So you said the biometrics, right? So you said you can log in with the biometrics.
Yes.
Is it only the Touch ID and the Face ID, or is it also
We can use any form of biometrics. We can use voice, we can use face. In this case, we have chosen for the fingerprint. We can use any type of biometrics.
Is it device specific or app specific?
App.
App specific.
Yes.
So you must be doing a biometric enrollment during your enrollment process as well.
Yes, yes. So we have several ways. We have 4 levels. I have only 10 minutes, so I can only show you a short version. But we have 4 levels within our platform. And that the third level is identity as a service. So you, as you can saw on the movie, that you can use your identity within our platform that is past the KYC to any third party to identify. So you've passed then the enrollment process by being identified. My time is over, huh? Okay. Thank you very much. We have a booth outside, so if anyone has more questions, I would be happy to answer them.
So next presenting we have Dean Holden with Trulioo.
Hi.
Hey.
Wi-Fi work, right?
Yes.
I have a link right in my PowerPoint to open my web portal. I can just click that and it'll work, right?
Do you have audio of the presentation?
No.
No? Okay. Hey guys, my name is Dean Holden. I'm an account executive with Trulioo. So Trulioo is the leading provider of global identity verification. We help our customers with compliance to anti-money laundering and know your customer regulation. We have customers from payments companies, forex exchanges, financial service providers, online gaming, you name it. Anyone who is looking to verify the identities of their customers is somebody that we can help out. Our product connects to over 400 different data sources in over 100 countries around the world. We cover more than 4 billion different individuals around the world, and everything is accessible through one simple, easy to integrate API. So the data that we access ranges from government databases where it's available, credit bureau data, electoral rolls, data aggregated from utility companies, property files, you name it. Essentially, if our data acquisition team can access the data, get the data, and it passes our vetting process, which we find it's reliable to use for KYC purposes, we'll offer it to our customers. On top of that, we also have access to all the watch lists, your OFAC lists, UN sanctions lists, CIA most wanted lists, everything like that. Again, our data covers 6 of the 7 continents. The only place that we're not is Antarctica. So I'm going to show you how it works. Hopefully the Wi-Fi doesn't fail me. Whoops. Go back.
We have a solution for that.
Oops. I guess you don't want to see my password. I use a solution for that normally. I just kind of made it easy so I could do that. All right, so I just logged into our customer portal here. This is essentially what's going on behind the scenes. So it's essentially what's going on behind the scenes. Every one of our customers has access to this portal where you can kind of verify somebody in a more manual sense. So this is what I'm going to show you here, because I don't think you want to look at the code that the API produces. So I'm just going to change the country. These are all the different countries we offer for electronic identity verification. Just going to set it to the United States. I'm really struggling with this mouse. Okay, so what we're looking at here is every one of those columns is a different data source we have the ability to access in the USA. Each one of the rows is a different data attribute that we can look up. The United States is obviously a well-developed data market. It's going to be fairly easy to verify somebody in the United States. We don't really need anything too fancy. Name, address, date of birth is great. If we have a social security number, we can also use that to look somebody up. Each one of these columns is a different data source, as I mentioned. So primarily here, we're looking at 2 different credit bureaus. We're looking at a driver's license database. We're looking at utility data, property files, telephone directories as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just populate in some test data. I don't think anyone wants to watch me type it. Here. So I just inputted an individual's name, date of birth, address. Is there a better way for me to do this? Date of birth, I've got an address in there. I've also got the individual's social security number in there, as well as a mobile phone number. So what I'm going to do is just agree to the terms and conditions and click verify. So when I click verify, it's going to check all the different data sources all at the same time. A usual API call takes less than a second in most cases. And we get back a response where every one of those green check marks is information we're able to confirm about that individual. So you can see here that we verified this individual, Jack Smith, on data source here that we're labeling Credit Agency 2. You see that he is born on the 21st of March, 1990, lives on East Broadway in New York, and everything checks out. We give that overall verified response you see at the top in blue. That is going to be based on a customizable rule that we can set up. So we can set this up differently for any country, for all of our customers. So essentially, we can help them comply to the regulations that they're looking to comply to. We can make it as easy or as difficult to pass as we want it, whether it's verifying somebody's address and their name on multiple data sources, or just simply finding somebody's name and their city they live in. We can set it however our customers need it to be set at. With some of the countries, like the US, we can get a little bit more information from some of our data sources, such as a fraud flag, if that identity has been used in fraudulent activity. If you have that fraud flag, you might want to do a little bit extra research on that person, make sure you know who you're dealing with, make sure that everything checks out. We also get a deceased flag. Obviously, if a dead person is applying for your services, it's probably a good sign that somebody's trying to fraud you. If the individual shows up on any of the watch lists we check, this flag in the corner here will light up. Now, one of the other data sources that we checked here is a brand new product of ours called Mobile ID. What that does is it verifies the individual's mobile phone number with mobile network operator data. So what we're essentially doing there is we're confirming this individual exists, and we're also confirming that their mobile phone number is that they gave us belongs to that person. So this can be used as a powerful tool for mitigating fraud, as if somebody has stolen an identity and signing up for a service online in that person's name. If they put in their own phone number, it won't check out. If they put in that person's right phone number, you can use a simple texting service or calling service to verify with that person that they are signing up for this service, which makes stealing somebody's identity also require stealing their phone to actually proceed with, Okay, how do I get back to the PowerPoint? There we go. So some key differentiators from our product. We offer a single API to connect to, which makes it as easy as possible for our customers. Our data sources give full transparency. You notice that there was no scoring system or anything like that. We tell you exactly why we're verifying somebody, which is based on customized rules that we set up for you. So our customers, in a simple sense, can set up those rules to do exactly what they need, but also gives them the power and the ability for managing their customer onboarding and going through different workflows. In the example, say we verify a person's name, their social security number, their date of birth. Everything pretty much checks out, but not their address. You might want to take them through an extra step to make sure you have their correct address. We give you the ability to do that. Our global gateway platform also offers ID document verification, so we can actually verify somebody's driver's license, their passport. We can do facial comparison to make sure that the person's passport and or the photo on the passport matches with a live photo comparison, the person submitting it. We can also verify business entities and, of course, do the AML watch list screening as well. All of it's accessible through our one simple API. If anyone has any questions, be more than happy to answer them. Yes.
Sure. So you talk about the mobile number verification.
Yeah.
Through the API, right? So how do you guys do it? Because from my perspective, you need the device. So this API call needs to happen from the device, the mobile device, or from.
No, we're actually verifying that phone number belongs to that person. So that actual device isn't anything that we're actually checking. We're checking that the phone number that I have given matches with the billing address that my carrier has.
Right.
So we can also get a little bit more information as well, like.
Right, but there's certain parameters that a carrier needs before you can make that call. You cannot just take any phone number and make that call to the carrier because it needs certain device parameters or the billing code, billing zip code of the person.
Yeah, we require their name, their address, and their phone number. That's it.
And now we have Kyle from Asignio.
Do you have audio with your presentation?
No, okay. Pull this out. Hello, everyone. My name is Kyle Rutherford. I'm the founder and CEO of Asignio, or Asignio. It's pronounced both ways. We're a biometric-based handwriting recognition software company. We've been working for a long time on developing some software that you take your handwriting based with timing and all sorts of things, and I'll show it to you in a second. But in reality, what we wanted to start talking with is kind of this transition that we see in the industry where we've gone from passwords and that sort of thing, which everyone has too many of, into mobile-based authentication. And where we actually start thinking we have some benefits and advantages are that we like the Touch ID and that sort of thing for unlocking our phone, but then we get into another layer, a second key to the benefits. And so with that in mind, I thought I'd show you real quickly a demo, and then we'll go and I'll have plenty of time for questions if there's any questions, or I guess I'm the last one, so then we can go back to the other sessions if you want. So excuse my switching back over here. So I'm going to quickly move over to a simple, on the right-hand side is my phone. Now, I'm not very good. My son can do it with his thumb. I can't do anything on my thumb. But my signature is simply my initials.
Sorry, we're recording, so you really need the mic.
How do I do it? Well, so I'm not very good with my thumb, yeah, as pointed out. But as you saw, I just did my initials, and it's KDR. And one of the things we're measuring about 30 different parameters on every curve to the system. So it's a very simple, something I do all the time. Now, my attempt failed because I did it a little bit fast. But hold on. Typical demo. So everybody saw it was simple. Now let's see if I actually pass. Do I pass? Come on. I did. Phew. Only in demos do I fail. And so you can see it's a very simple thing, and then we tie it in with all sorts of different ways of doing it. So we have multiple ways. If it's a two-factor authentication system, like over on the right-hand side, if I'm going to log in, I know I'm not very good with this with the microphone, but I can send myself an email or a text message or a Google notification. It'll give me a few seconds to 60 seconds to do it. Now I get a buzz on my phone. I click the link. And then again, I'll have to switch to my fingers. I can't talk. And there again, I've done my authentication. Over on the left-hand side, I'm signed in. It's a very quick and easy process, as you can see. So we have multiple ways of using it. We find that it's very difficult for somebody else to get the timing right for my signature, as opposed to the shape is pretty easy. People can see what it is. But when you're actually doing it with your, it's muscle memory. So all of these things play into making it a biometric. But one big advantage of our biometric is that it's changeable. So if, God forbid, it gets compromised, the ability to change it is very comforting for, I didn't lose my fingerprint, I didn't lose my selfie or any of those other things. So it's not meant as the only way of getting in. Again, it's the second factor of authentication. I think it's really valuable along those lines. I could talk more about the machine learning that we're doing and other things that make it so that it improves over time, and all of the factors that come into it. But it's also a three-factor authentication, so every time I'm doing it, it's something I know, similar to a password. It's also something I have in my hand, so we tie it to the cookie actually on the device. It's a web-based system, which means that I never had to download an application. I can transfer it to my iPad or to anything else I want to use. Anything with a touch screen. And if it's not a touch screen, we can actually, you just click a button and it sends it off to one of your registered devices. So if I have my mobile phone with my SMS or any of those things. Again, it's one of those very simple processes to doing it. And it is handwriting, so there's that biometric component to it. So it works as a full three-factor authentication. How, like other biometric systems, you can use it for signing up. You have account onboarding, sample use cases. There's, banks, financial institutions all over the place, insurance. And we're just starting a big proof of concept with DocuSign, so we're really excited about that. That just got kicked off last week. And then signing in, and also two-factor or multiple authentication. And then finally, you're welcome to see us at our website. Any questions? I know I still have 4 minutes, which is great. But I can do it hundreds of times. It's really boring. Yes?
Multiple surfaces when you sign it.
Mm-hmm.
Mobile. You have different types of phones. You have small
Mm-hmm.
phones. large
Small phones, big phones, yes.
You account for changes in your curvature and how you sign.
Yeah.
Do you account for that?
Yeah, we do account for that. So we actually, like on a tablet, you have lots of extra space, but you'll notice that it's just a square.
Right.
And that square, actually, plus or minus a little bit of sizing, we replicate that square no matter what the dimensions of the device are. And it turns out that makes it pretty consistent. We run on iPhone 3s. We were running really old, tiny little Android phones, on up to your big Notes and Microsoft Surface and almost anything with a touchscreen. Big HP, I run that, and it works really well as long as the square stays about the same dimensions. Then it turns out your wrist is actually what drives a lot of it, which also makes copying it, a replication by a robot is more than difficult. Let's just put it that way. I used to come out of the robotics industry, and to get the continuous surface contact and that sort of thing, nearly impossible. You won't ever get that. So And it's a great liveness test. How do you do your touch screen without it, right? So dead people don't, as you were talking about, don't have too much of a problem with those. Well, anyways. Yes, so we use machine learning. We watch what you do. We actually see that after you've done playing with it, so the first X number of days, people will play with it so often. It's really interesting. We have people with hundreds of signatures on there just playing with it. Sometimes they're testing, sometimes they're not testing to see what the tolerances are. But after a while, we start to see a convergence, and then we will start tightening the algorithms so that the in and out tolerances are tighter for any individual. Now, we have great stories about people, 2 o'clock in the morning at a university, how they start getting a little bit sloppier. Don't know why, but we actually can measure that. It's really funny to watch. So we do have a little bit of timing algorithms in there too, just because of that. So, other questions or yes?
How many attempts before you get locked out?
It's variable, but typically we do 5. And I can't remember the last time. I can't remember the last time I got locked out was because I'd handed my phone. They set up a new standard on my friend set up and I forgot. So then I did lock myself out, and then you wait 2 minutes and go in. There's also a password, and right now we're implementing a password with a selfie match that will be the fallback. So it's not just your password. It's not the master password, but a selfie match. So yes.
Yeah, Kyle, what use cases have you found that this sort of 3FA is sort of a minimum amount of authentication required?
Well, there's a number of them. Document signing all the way down to signing into. I can't say. Unfortunately, I mean there's an NDA involved in one. It's a very simple business case where they want to sign in for their employees, and but they do it quite consistently. Yeah, I actually sign in that way just for practice every day. That's how I get into our administration site. It's very simple, and I always have my phone with me. It's kind of one of those things. I unlock my phone so often. I'm not really convinced that that's actually a great. Well, and also it falls back to a PIN in reality, or a password depending on what your system is. But it's nice to have that comfort of the second level, especially if we're working with some big financial institutions with kind of protected assets and high value customers and that sort of thing. That's where you start really seeing some applicability. So, I'm done. Okay?
Thank you, Kyle.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
So that is actually it for our creation and authentication demos. So feel free to visit all of these great sponsors out in the exhibit hall. All of our demoers that we have throughout the conference.